Argentina played a World Cup final and did not have a single shot. Not one. 90 minutes, 11 men, and the greatest player who ever lived wearing number 10. They never once made Spain's goalkeeper touch the ball. Their first attempt of the whole match came in the 116th minute. A man down, a goal down, nothing left to lose. A few 100 million people watched that and reached the same verdict. Messi disappeared. Messi is finished. They were watching the right match. They were just watching the wrong thing. And the reason isn't football. It's a blind spot so old it predates language. Once you can see it, you'll notice you've been doing it to people your entire life. This isn't an excuse video. The question, was Messi good tonight, was never answerable by watching Messi. In the final third that night, Spain completed 235 passes. Argentina completed 47. Argentina didn't miss their chances. They never arrived at the place where a chance can exist. It broke upstream. Draw a football team the way a mathematician would. Every player is a dot. Every possible pass is a line between two dots. Those are called nodes and edges, and that's the last time I'll use either word. Because there's a better way to say it. The players are places. The passes are roads. And you can delete every road in a country while every city is still standing. Nothing destroyed. Nothing you could photograph. And the country stops working completely. There are two ways to matter in a network: how many roads reach you, and how much of the traffic has to travel through you. Messi is the second kind. The point where a possession stops going sideways and starts being dangerous. And that number is calculated entirely from the roads. It is not calculated from the man. Which means you can collapse it without ever touching him. Here's the bit I can't stop thinking about. On a diagram, a dot with nothing reaching it shrinks because we draw the dots by their roads. You watch it get smaller. A person doesn't do that. For 90 minutes, Messi looked exactly like Messi. Same body, same shirt, same walk. Nothing about him got smaller because people don't have a size that shows how connected they are. That one mismatch is the whole misunderstanding. So how do you delete a road? Not by marking anybody. You attack the supply. Every coach alive knows this. It worked perfectly, and almost nobody watching called it a plan working. Here's my favorite detail. Rodrigo de Paul is a creative midfielder, one of the roads to Messi. He spent the World Cup final marking Marc Cucurella. Nobody blocked that road. They gave it a different job. Hold on to that. That's the person on your team who could have helped you, who spent the quarter in somebody else's meetings. So, the blind spot. I call it node blindness. That's my phrase, not a textbook term. The real mechanisms are salience and availability. In 1975, two psychologists sat two people down to talk, with observers in a circle around them. Then they asked who had been driving the conversation. Everybody picked whoever they could see best. Same conversation, same words, same room. The only thing that changed was who was easier to see. And that decided who they thought caused it. For most of human history, that worked. In a group of 50, who did this was always a name. Your brain evolved to blame a person. You now live inside systems where the outcome is decided by connections you cannot see. So let's stop talking about football. You have been the disconnected node. You weren't in the meeting. You didn't get the file. The person with the context got pulled onto something else, and you produced almost nothing that quarter. And when they discussed it as a property of you. Nobody opened the org chart. Nobody counted the roads. Now, the uncomfortable half. You do this constantly to other people. The colleague you wrote off. The friend who changed. The one who isn't performing. You never once audited what reaches them. You looked at the person because the person has a face and the roads don't. So if the outcome lives in the roads, Replacing a person is the most expensive move you have. Adding a road is nearly free. An introduction, one meeting, one password. We replace people because people are visible. The roads were the problem the whole time. I've made 7 of these videos, and almost every one is named after a person. Draw your own conclusions. Messi stood on that pitch for 120 minutes. Nothing about him got smaller. The roads did. A few 100 million people watched a network come apart and saw a man getting old because the man had a face and the roads didn't. So next time you're certain you know who's at fault, you're probably right about who. Ask what reached them,